few animals have left as profound an impact on both agriculture and ecosystems as the wild boar, Sus scrofa. At first glance, these rugged creatures may seem like just another game species, prized by hunters for their toughness and elusiveness. However, beneath their bristly exterior lies a complex story of destruction, resilience, and survival that reverberates across farmlands, forests, and even urban fringes. Wild boars are not merely animals. They are a force of nature, embodying both the strength of wildlife and the harsh reality of human-wildlife conflict. Their adaptability, intelligence, and explosive population growth make them a relentless adversary for farmers, a challenge for ecologists, and a puzzle for wildlife managers striving to balance human needs with environmental health for farmers. Wild boars are far more than a nuisance. They are a devastating threat to livelihoods. With their powerful snouts, boars root through fields, uprooting seedlings, trampling crops, and leaving behind a wake of destruction. Corn, wheat, peanuts, rice, and sugarcane are among their favorite targets. And a single herd moving through a farm under the cover of night can obliterate months of labor in mere hours. Unlike selective feeders such as deer, wild boars are opportunistic omnivores, consuming or destroying nearly everything in their path. In the United States, agricultural losses from wild boar activity are estimated at $1.50 to $2.5 billion annually, with small-scale farmers bearing the brunt of the damage. In Europe, countries like Germany and France report millions of euros in crop losses each year, often prompting government subsidies to offset the financial toll. For many farmers, particularly in developing regions, a single boar raid can mean the difference between survival and financial ruin, as entire harvests are lost to these voracious invaders. The impact of wild boars extends far beyond the farm. Disrupting entire ecosystems with their relentless foraging. Their rooting behavior churns soil, destabilizing the natural balance of forests, grasslands, and wetlands. This reduces plant cover, accelerates erosion, and diminishes biodiversity by destroying habitats for native species. Wild boars are indiscriminate feeders, consuming bird eggs, reptiles, insects, and small mammals, which disrupts local food chains. Their wallowing in rivers and ponds muddies water sources, polluting aquatic habitats and threatening species. like amphibians and fish. In regions like the southeastern United States, where feral hogs, a mix of wild boars and escaped domestic pigs, have proliferated, ground nesting birds have seen population declines of up to 30% in heavily affected areas. In Australia, wild boars contribute to a 20 to 30% reduction in native plant cover in wetlands, earning them comparisons to invasive species due to their fast, destructive spread. The root of the wild boar problem lies in their extraordinary population growth. A single sow can produce 1 to 2 litters per year, each containing 6 to 12 piglets, and with few natural predators, populations can double within a single year under favorable conditions. In the U.S., feral hog numbers are estimated at 6 to 9 million across 35 states, with growth outpacing control efforts. In Europe, wild boar populations have surged by 200% in some regions since the 1980s, fueled by mild winters, abundant food, and habitat expansion into urban edges. This explosive reproduction renders traditional control methods, such as hunting, largely ineffective. Boars are intelligent, nocturnal, and wary, often evading hunters and traps. Paradoxically, heavy hunting pressure can sometimes accelerate reproduction, as surviving boars face less competition for resources, allowing sows to breed more frequently. Hunting, while a popular sport, has become a necessity in many regions to curb wild boar populations. However, it is only one piece of a complex management puzzle. In areas like Texas and Australia, wildlife agencies employ night vision hunts and aerial culling from helicopters to target large groups. Yet these methods struggle to keep pace with population growth. Trapping with baited corrals is another approach, though it is labor-intensive and requires constant monitoring. Some regions have experimented with electric fencing and scent-based repellents to protect crops, but the boar's intelligence and persistence often render these defenses temporary. For example, boars have been observed learning to breach fences or avoid traps after initial encounters. Emerging solutions, such as immunocontraceptives to reduce fertility, show promise but face challenges in scaling to wild populations. Habitat management, like securing agricultural waste to limit food availability, can help, but its effectiveness is limited in diverse environments where boars thrive beyond their physical destruction. Wild boars pose a significant public health risk as carriers of diseases that threaten livestock and, in rare cases, humans. African swine fever, ASF, is a prime example, having devastated pig farms across Asia and Europe. Between 2018 and 2020, China lost nearly 50% of its domestic pig population to ASF, with wild boars acting as a major vector by spreading the virus asymptomatically through contact or contaminated environments. Other pathogens, such as brucellosis and leptospirosis, further complicate the issue, adding urgency to boar management for farmers already grappling with crop losses. The economic ripple effects are staggering as disease outbreaks disrupt global pork supply chains, increase food prices, and strain agricultural economies. The wild boar's resilience is a double-edged sword. Their ability to thrive in diverse environments, forests, farmlands, wetlands, and even suburban areas makes them one of nature's most adaptable survivors.
If you'll enjoy this video, please like and subscribe my channel for more information.